Well, I'll try again. That never happened before. It was 4:44 in the afternoon. Now 5 minutes later, I noticed at about 2.5 minutes into the video, uh, the camera had stopped working and nothing was moving on the time bar that measures the seconds and everything. So I'm starting again. This is a video for the 27th, but it's being recorded on the 25th of February. And again, it's 4:48, now 4:49 in the afternoon. Initially began at 4:44, but as I said, I've had to abandon that one. Windows Movie Maker froze up for whatever reason. There are lessons to be learned from dark energy is the title of this video, and as I said in the previous take, I'm going to start with a little bit of preface because 10 years ago today, Dr. Mary Organ, who I referred to often as my non-judgmental mom, passed from this scene. On Valentine's Day, 14th, I had taken her out to lunch, and she had been mentioning to me that she was having problems breathing, and it was obvious whenever I went anywhere with her that she was experiencing shortness of breath and other symptoms of struggle. And that afternoon, after we came back home, after a while, she called me and she said, "Ron," she said, "I'm really not feeling well." And I said, "Dr. Mary, we've offered to take you to the doctor. You don't want to go to the doctor. At least if you go to the doctor, you can maybe find out what's wrong and we can maybe learn what we can do to help." She finally agreed, and I took her to the doctor. It was funny because in the parking lot, she didn't want me to just leave her stop and let her get out at the door. She wanted me to park, and she walked, having every 5 to 10 steps or so, she'd have to stop and catch her breath. But anyway, they got an ambulance there and rushed her to the hospital, and she passed from the scene at around 7 a.m. on the 25th of February in 2005. I was there around 5 o'clock in the morning holding her hand because Spirit had told me that that was going to be the final day that she was leaving us. And I got to be with her till the very end. And so there's that memory of this date that I'm recording this that's playing in my mind. Here's the blurb for the title that I mentioned earlier. There are lessons to be learned from dark energy. As I prepare to record this video, I am probably in my weakest state since this ordeal began. However, there are lessons I feel that are being learned that are making a deep impression on my consciousness. For example, I did not get much sleep last night. However, I had a different attitude than the previous 2 nights. I determined to communicate as best I could with the dark energies. I recognized that they were me, which, as I see it, is the first step in the healing process of integration that leads to transformation. I also got up and watched a video documentary in the middle of the night. The title is Heal for Free. It's about grounding with Mother Earth. I think this is perhaps the most important thing we can do to change the world. Yes, it's been a rough day. But last night, ironically, I chose not to take Somnifure. And I've had a couple of people give me warnings that this causes heart palpitations. Needless to say, I'm never going to finish taking it. And when I get the free sample that was ordered, it's probably going to be returned or given to someone else that does benefit from it, because apparently it does work for some people. I have a friend that mentioned that it's a very good product. Anyway, it doesn't work for me, and I'm not going to go back to that. I am taking a better calcium, magnesium, potassium citrate, which is better absorbed by the body than the magnesium that I had been taking, which is magnesium oxide, which is probably the worst form of magnesium as far as bioavailability or the absorbability into the bloodstream and to benefit the body. I'm experiencing tremendous shortness of breath today, and I'm feeling less powerful, less well than any of the days so far, as I said in the blurb. But last night, my heart was in a normal rhythm when I laid down, and I thought I would fall right to sleep, but I didn't. And after a while, less than an hour, probably between a half an hour and an hour, I don't know the exact time, I started going into atrial fibrillation again. And I can feel when I'm going into that energy. It's a dark energy. It's an energy that it feels like it wants to kill me. And I actually communicated with it. Now, for those of you that have listened to me for a long time, you know that I have a practice of talking not only to my body, but to my car and to the various systems within the automobile, to my house, to the appliances and stuff like that, so that I live with very little breakdown, including health-wise. I don't hardly ever get sick. This is the first time since I started doing videos over 4 years ago that I've been not well doing the video. As far as I know, that there's been no other time that I have not been feeling pretty good. And at no previous time in my life did I feel my mortality as I feel it now. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to die, and neither do I want to die. But I'm facing these dark energies, and I'm not looking at them as my enemy. I'm not trying to make them go away. I'm not trying to cast them out. I'm doing what I've preached for a long time and what I believe is necessary. Now, I thought in meditation that it reminded me of a video that I watched recently where this demonic looking being was attacking this person and said, "I'm not afraid of you. You're part of me. You're part of me, and I know you're part of me, and I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not going to be afraid of you." And the demon just shrunk back in terror. Now, the dark crystal image that came to me in meditation was a whole lot better. The dark entity and the light entity merged into one, and they were glowing because the light had embraced the darkness. And that's the message that I've been trying to tell you about integrating opposites, about embracing the paradoxes. That's exactly the message. That's the core of the message that I've been trying to get across, because Spirit has been trying to get it across to this thick head and sometimes hard heart. That's mine, my head and my heart. I'm just a regular guy. But I've had a vision, as I've said all my life, to make the world better for everybody, a world that works for everybody, make the kingdom of heaven happen on earth. And I'm going to be doing a video in this. I'm not going to do that on this video because there's other things I want to talk about. But I'm going to be talking in another video about spiritual governance or wise governance, and some insights that I have as a follow-up to No More Business as Usual, the video that I last recorded that actually goes up in just a few more minutes from now. And it will be the public video proclamation, No More Business as Usual. But anyway, back to this thought. I went through the entire night without getting any significant sleep. I might have dozed very briefly a couple of times, but I did not get up and down so much as I had the previous 2 nights. And it was not the intense battle that it seemed like the previous 2 nights. The energies were still there, and they were still opposite energies or diverse energies. But I had a different attitude. I had the attitude of not trying to cast out demons, but rather trying to heal myself, recognizing that the demon that I was seeing was only the part of me that had been rejected from the beginning of time, probably, by me and my other soul incarnations. And this is what happens in humanity. We reject the dark energies, and they take on a personality all of their own, and they seem separate. And when we recognize that those energies are us, and when we embrace them with love, Love is the only dynamic, the only energy that heals. Why? Because love is natural. Love is what God created. Creation is made from love. It's not made from fear, and that which is fear driven is often man-made, and it's made by man who thinks himself separate. Man who is convinced that he has to toe the line and follow certain procedures and believe certain things and to be acceptable. All the bullshit that religion has pushed down our throats for a long time. We're acceptable just because we are, because we exist. It doesn't depend on what anybody else did for us, what we believe or don't believe. It depends on whether we're willing to love or not love. That's all it really depends on. And love is inclusive. It's not exclusive. Love is something that is able to embrace that which seems unlike itself, and then heal that part of the self that seems so unnatural. And it is unnatural when you operate from the ego. It's unsustainable when we create from that place because it's competitive. And we will not create the world that works for everyone as long as we stay in that competitive mode. Now, I mentioned that I watched a video called Heal for Free, and it's about grounding or earthing, and people that ground with Mother Earth and come into a resonance with Mother Earth is going to survive. Despite all of the crap that man is throwing at her, she's going to survive. And if we connect energetically with the Mother Earth, we will be nurtured. And the video was, I don't usually watch videos. As much as I can, I try to listen. But this one I actually watched because there were things that I was witnessing with my own eyes as well as hearing that I needed to get through to my consciousness. And one of the images was of a diabetic man whose eyesight was failing him, and they hooked him up to grounds on his both hands and his feet for 2 hours, taking pictures of his eyes, of his retina or iris or something, whatever, his eyes before and then after the 2 hours had ended. And the growth that took place in those 2 hours of being grounded was phenomenal. There was a healing process that was measurable by the camera and undeniable to those that would witness it. Folks, I'm telling you, this is what we need to do if we're going to heal ourselves and to heal the planet, or to heal the world. The planet is Mother Earth. The world is the matrix that we've created, the matrix that destroys us and enslaves us and it disempowers us. If we're going to be re-empowered, we've got to get back to a connection with Mother Nature. Even if we remain in the technological world, we need to ground. We need to ground that energy and bring ourselves into harmony with Mother Earth, with the natural creation made by the Creator at the very beginning. And this is something that I think is a lesson that we need to learn. We need to embrace the darkness, recognizing it not as something foreign, but as something that is part of us. I know that goes against a lot of your New Age teachings, a lot of the Course in Miracles teachings. I know it goes against a lot of other religious teachings that have come down through the ages, which preys upon the idea of separation being real. Separation is a lie. It's the only true delusion and illusion, the only one. All the rest can be adjusted, but they're not real. This is the real one, the real illusion, because we're not separate. We cannot even be separate from God or from each other or from ourselves, although we can live as if we are. And we've done it, and we've proven that we can do it. But look what we've created. Look at the mess you got me in. What was that comedy routine? What a revolt and development this is. That was one of the sayings. And what a mess you got me in, Stanley. I think that was, oh God, I don't remember all their names from watching those comedies when I was a kid. Anyway, folks, I want you to understand we have the opportunity to heal ourselves, to heal each other. We're not going to do it by casting out demons, by separating further, by pushing one religion over another, by pretending there's no religion at all. There's value in everything. We need to learn the lesson, to find the value in the things that we have the most trouble and want to resist the most strongly. We need to embrace those things and to heal them. And when we've healed those things, when enough of us have healed them, we will have a better world. When all of us have healed them, who knows what will happen with creation? Who knows the glory and the beauty and the wonder that we will be able to experience together, because we're no longer resisting that which we do not like and that which we do not want to accept and love. That's the lesson that I'm learning. I still probably haven't mastered it, but it's about dark energy being embraced by the light and liberated. Thank you for listening. Namaste.